Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara, and if you are watching this video when it comes out, happy last day of 2022, or happy 2023. Today's video is going to be a kind of a recap video of 2022. If you have been following along with my kind of plan to pan series for 2022, then you will know that I have had a number of items, 22 specifically, which I was hoping to finish for the end of the year. And unfortunately, I did not quite meet that goal. I didn't finish all 22. I mean, I didn't think I would get through all of them. They were some of them were sort of more like hopeful than realistic, but I expected to get through more than I have today. I have a couple of things that I'd really hoped to be done by the end of the year, and I'm currently filming this on the 27th, but I wanted this to be my last video of the year. So there's one thing that I might be able to finish by 2023 because I just have a couple of uses yet, but we'll get to that soon. All of that to say, welcome to the video, and let's talk about what I managed to finish out of my 2022 products and which things I did not. Also, just to be clear, I will be doing a full collection inventory. It is just going to be coming late, like at the end of January, because I figured that I would prioritize the videos that actually have to do with the end of the year. So like this video, obviously I need to discuss which products I finished in 2022 before the end of 2022, and also like my Project Pan video, which is also about products that I'm finishing for 2022. Here, I'm just giving you a sneak preview of my upcoming videos. I will be doing final empties of the year, so obviously here I'm talking about what I finished from my Plan to Pan project, but I have much more makeup empties than just these, and also skincare and body care and everything else. So I will be doing a full video dedicated to that, which will be very satisfying because, oh my goodness, I had to dig into my bag of finished products in order to find the things that I'd finished for this video, and there is so much stuff. Digging through it, I'm like, wow, that was this year? That was this year? How did I finish this many products this year? It's gonna be so satisfying to finally get those out the door because it's a big bag, and we're doing our like end of the year decluttering right now, and it's just hard to believe how much stuff we have that needs to get out. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm rambling here, but yes, all I'm saying is that I will have an inventory going up at the end of January. I have already filmed it, so it is actually my 2022 inventory just going up at the beginning of 2023. I did get a few new products recently, but I won't be including those in the video. I'll mention them somewhere else. I hope you are looking forward to the rest of my sort of end of the year, beginning of 2023 videos, because I sure am. I'm also going to be doing a declutter, like an overhead style declutter. Usually the way I do them is like figure out what I'm getting rid of before the video, and then I just show them on screen. But when I was doing my inventory, I became aware of how many specifically lip products and eyeliners I have that I simply do not reach for, and it's time. I'm ready to do a declutter of those categories. So that will probably be up in February. Like I haven't filmed it yet. I'll do it sometime in the coming month. Anyways, let's just get into the video. I have done a couple of updates, and each update I've shared which things I have finished and which I still have to go. So since last update, I've finished 2 things, so not too bad because the last update was about 2 months ago. So yeah, let's start out with the new empties. So we have this translucent setting powder from Laura Mercier. I already discussed finishing this in a declutter and empty video, so I will link that below if you missed it. But if you hate ASMR, I'm sorry. I'm really, really glad to get this out. This was like one of my biggest goals, I guess, or biggest products, even like physically. This is 29 grams that I had hoped to finish before the end of the year, so I'm really glad that that happened. It took way too long, but at least it is finally out. This next one is a bit more of a story. It's kind of funny, but this is the Becca Evermatte Shine Proof Foundation. This is very old. I used to love it, and I still think that it is a great product, but Unfortunately, it's just not really my taste anymore. It's a bit too heavy coverage and a bit too matte, and Becca doesn't exist anymore, so you know, you couldn't repurchase it if you wanted to. But it just took so long to finish that I could not believe it. Even before I started trying to pan it this year, I felt like I'd used this so much because it used to be my favorite foundation. So I couldn't believe that it took that long to finally get finished up. I was mixing this with another foundation the whole time I was using it, so that was probably part of it. You know, I'm using half as much as you would think. But I mentioned in a video, probably at the beginning of November, maybe even end of October, that I wanted to bring this to Turkey and I wanted to finish it there because I thought this would be a good traveling product because it was so matte and heavy coverage. But the first time I tried to use it in Turkey, nothing came out. And I was like, what are the chances that I bring this on a trip with me and I realize when I get there that there's nothing left? I just thought it was so bizarre that all of a sudden it was done. Like the previous day that I had used it, it wasn't a problem. Anyways, I'm like, whatever, I'm happy that this is done. When I get back to Canada, I'm gonna cut it open, use what's inside. Obviously, I didn't want to do that while I was traveling. So we get back here and I give it a little squeeze one day and product comes out. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I was able to use it, not that much more, but maybe a week or two more when we got back to Canada. And then after that point, I finally cut into it. But yeah, you can see I used up everything, every last bit. Again, I do like this product. I really enjoyed it, but it was old. I really just wanted to get it out and not savor it, because before I was trying to pan it this year, I really used this as like a special product. Like I was really savoring it, but there's no need to do that anymore. I'm trying to not do that as much. So anyways, long-winded rant, but this is out. So let's talk about the other products that I finished this year, and we will count up how successful I was. So other products that I had finished prior to my previous updates. I don't know why that was so hard to say. This Urban Decay All-Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I have a backup of this. I don't know how I feel about setting spray anymore. Sorry. This 17 Brows That Brow Kit. This might be the single most impressive thing of the year, other than maybe the Laura Mercier setting powder, because this was 3 different individual shades / products, although it was more than a year that I was working on this, but now I finally get to get it out. I finished a bronzer. I'm kind of feeling like I did something from every category, you know. I've got foundation, brow kit, bronzer, concealer, mascara. So NYC Bronzer and Sunny. This used to be a cult classic, but I just wanted to get it out. So glad that I finished it. Then we have this brow gel. Oh, you know what? I think that this one I hadn't finished in my last update either, but this is from CoverGirl. It is the Naturelux Mousse Mascara. I had been using this as a brow gel, I think at least half the year, because I really found that I enjoyed it and it worked even better than actual brow gels. But it did dry up by the end, even though I kept adding contact solution to it. Yes, happy to have gotten this out, and I knew I would finish it by the end of the year, so I wasn't that surprised. Then we've got this concealer from MAC. This is the Pro Longwear Concealer. This is the second container of this I had. I used to love it. Oh, let's do a little... Yes, again, not really my preference anymore. This is very thick, heavy coverage, very matte. Good product, but not my preference anymore. Glad to have gotten that out. At one time, that was my only concealer. Pretty impressive. And then the last 2 things that I finished were both from e.l.f. These were sort of individual makeup items. So we've got the e.l.f. Shine Eraser Oil Blotting Sheets, and then the e.l.f. Shimmer Sheets. These were like blush sheets. Yeah, didn't really like these that much, but I just knew it wouldn't take very long to finish them because there's only 20 individual sheets. So I think this was quite a bit earlier in the year that I finished these, and this was, I want to say, in the early fall, but I do have another one of these, so that'll probably get tossed into my next year's plan to pan. All right, so how many do we have? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, is that it? That doesn't feel like very many. I'm gonna go double check. All right, folks, I knew something was fishy. I knew I had done better than that. I found a couple more things that I just didn't discuss in my last video. I was going off of the products I talked about in my last one, and I just didn't mention these because I had finished them much earlier in the year. So this was the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I like this. I didn't love it. I haven't really been doing reviews of these products on the whole. Let's see. Anything I would repurchase? No. Would not repurchase. Then we've got this L'Oreal Collection Privé by Julienne lipstick. This I actually decluttered. I still have it because I don't want to pass it on to someone else. I think it's too old for that, but I just couldn't get myself to use up that last little bit. I really did not like this color. Oh. I was getting kind of sick of the scent, so I just decided it was time to say goodbye to it. But I don't know, can I count this as an empty? It's not really an empty, but I did use up most of it, so I'm gonna call it an empty just for today's purposes. And then I also had one other lip product that I decluttered because I couldn't deal with it. And this actually counted as 2 products because there were 2 different shades in here that I was trying to pan. So add in 3 more empties to that. We've got 12 empties plus 1 declutter. So that is 13. And then the remaining 9, let's get into them. I don't seem to have figured out a way to like categorize things. Like I always write them down. I have this notebook that like says everything, but I don't even understand my own notes. So I just go off my last video and that clearly doesn't work. And I also can't always find things because I have decluttered makeup. I have my bag of empties, but it's also mixed with my like skincare and hair care empties. And then I have makeup in various different places in my apartment. So yeah, I'm sorry that this is kind of chaotic, but I also finished a Maybelline 1x1 mascara and I just simply cannot find that. So it's actually 13 empties plus 1 declutter. Okay, it was actually 15, I believe. 15 empties / declutters. My numbers are all over the place. I will try to come up with a better system for next year. Hopefully. Okay, unemptied, non-finished products. I am definitely going to be putting some of these in my next year's project pan because I think I had this mentality that like because I put these things in my project pan, or at least in this video series of things I wanted to finish, I would have them done by the end of the year, because that's usually how it works with my actual project pans. Like I'm very successful at finishing things, but you know, I've still got 7 items that I'm not finished, which doesn't feel great. So I do want to get those out as soon as possible. But let's start with this blush because honestly, I might be able to get this finished within the next few days by the end of 2022. It's kind of hard to tell. I already repressed it, so there's not that much left, but you never really know with repressed products like this. It's hard to tell if there's 2 uses left, 20 uses left. I'm leaning more towards 3 to 4 uses. So yeah, maybe New Year's Day, I'll post on Instagram being like, finished. That is my hope. And then we've got this one. This is the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. I've made great progress on this one this year, so I'm really happy that I had it in mind to finish this year, because otherwise I wouldn't have pushed myself to do that, because I really do enjoy it. But as it is liquid, I wanted to get it out. So I am going to put this in my project pan for next year. Yeah, even though I didn't finish it, I think I'm close to finishing it, so I'm happy with my progress there. Let's leave the ones that I'm not happy with my progress on till the end. I've got these 2 mascaras, and I've been using both of them quite a bit. This one in particular, the CoverGirl Supersizer, this is what I'm wearing today. I think it still does an amazing job. It's just so good for length, not so much volume, but like I can keep applying layers to this over and over, and it never looks like clumpy. They just get longer and longer. So I really, really enjoy this mascara, but I do feel like there's not that much left because it's not quite as effective as it used to be. So, you know, another 3 to 6 months on this, and I think I will be able to get it out. I know for most people, mascaras wouldn't last longer than 3 months. I'm not most people. And then this one, I have been wearing less and less just because I keep adding contact solution to it. Like it dries out, so I add more liquid to it, but every time I do, it gets a little bit less waterproof. I've found like it flakes more and more. It makes my lashes droop more and more. The more waterproof a mascara is, the less your lashes droop. So I've still got some left in this. And it's hard because especially in the winter, I don't like wearing non-waterproof mascara because you go outside and, you know, it's super windy and cold and your eyes start tearing up and then you just start crying mascara, especially if you're wearing a mask. So yeah, I haven't been reaching for this very much, unfortunately. Let's try again next year. And then the next one is this Clinique Lash Doubling Mascara. Same situation. This is a non-waterproof mascara and it's a mini, but it somehow has lasted me so long. I don't understand. I think it's a really good mascara, but I want it out. This is gonna be in the project pan for next year as well. And then we've got 2 lip products that I made almost no progress on. I should know better than to have put these in my plan to pan goals for this year. This is the Ooh La Lips lip gloss from La Senza. I don't like lip gloss. I don't think there's anything else to say. I barely reach for this. And then this is the Bite lipstick. I enjoy this lip product, but it's not a color that I reach for a lot just because it is so dark. I have worn it in videos before and I do like it. Yeah, it's just a bit dark. This is in the color Chai and it is starting to smell a little bit funky and it seems like I've barely used it. That's not great. So even though I barely got any use out of it this year, I think I'm gonna try again next year because I know that next year I'm gonna have to get rid of this. So let's count how many products I did not finish out of my 22. Remember, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, it's 8. Sorry, and I totally forgot to mention this Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector, which I used in tandem with the Becca foundation. I just don't use as much primer as I do foundation, and I also don't use primer every single day, and so, you know, I wasn't reaching for this that much. I have been using it more now. I always liked the effect best when it was paired with that Becca foundation, but now because I'm just trying to use it up, I'm using it with everything. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm just using concealer, I use this because it's super effective to just like mattify your skin, even if you're not wearing makeup. Like, I don't think I would wear it without makeup, but it's quite remarkable how if I just put it on one side of my face, like, you would be able to see very clearly the difference between the matte side and the regular side. Great product. I don't know if it's as obvious under foundation. I don't think so, but again, I should probably be doing more experiments where I use a product on one side of the face and not the other. This is another thing that I will be trying to finish next year because it was in my actual project pan all year this year, I'm pretty sure. Most of these products were not in my actual project pan. Like, I just had them in mind to try to get out. Some of them were for sure. But yeah, this one I've been working on trying to get out all year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are my unfinished products for this year. You will be seeing them again, unfortunately. It is true because I put them in this project for a reason. It's not really a project, again. It's more of like a mental thing, what I mentally have wanting to finish up. I feel like I'm being bad with words right now, but how do you think I did? Not finishing 8 out of 22. That is not a great percentage. And I didn't do quite as well as I expected. I thought that I would have finished more for this time, but you know, it is what it is. So that is going to be it for my plan to pan videos for this year. I will be doing this again next year because I think you guys enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it too. I enjoy any kind of project pan. It did confuse me a little bit just because I had multiple other projects going. I had of course, my project pan, and then I also had a graveyard project pan in the second half of the year, and then I also had my eyeshadow project pan in the first half of the year. So I had a hard time remembering like what was in which project. But that being said, I know you guys enjoy it, and I know that it motivates me to use these products up. So I'll definitely be doing it again this year, though, you know, that video probably won't be until midway through January just because I only post once a week. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you had a list of products that you wanted to finish by the end of 2022, let me know. Did you manage to finish them? Did you do better than me? 14 out of 22? And also for next year, should I try to do 23 in 2023? Or is that just too ambitious considering this year I couldn't even do 22? Maybe 20. 20 sounds like a more reasonable number. I'll have to see. But that is going to be it for today's video. And let's of course talk about a book that I have been reading lately. So today's video, very excited about it, is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I've been hearing about this for so long. My favorite book podcast, one of my favorite podcasts in general, What Should I Read Next, has been recommending this book for so long. And I wanted to read it this fall because sci-fi, space, that feels like a very kind of like, I don't know, mysterious fall vibe, kind of cozy. But I had a lot of other books to get through this fall, so I'm reading it now, and I'm halfway through, and it is excellent. Like, this is the best sci-fi I've read in a long time. I think since Project Hail Mary. That was the last sci-fi book that I really loved. It's not even that the story of this is that interesting. Like, I love the story of Project Hail Mary. This one, it's more about the world. So it centers on a spaceship. It's kind of like Star Trek in that way. It's like the people who live on this one very particular spaceship, and we get to see not the world, like the galaxy through their eyes. It's in the future. It's actually not clear when it is because they don't count days or even hours the same way that we do, or even years. So I'm not really sure when it is, but it is way far in the future. Humans have traveled into space. We've met many other species and we live with them. We know how to not time travel, but people have figured out how to get between very far places. Like, not using time travel and not using black holes, but using technology, I guess. It's kind of confusing, but I just find the way that it was written so interesting, so well thought through. I'm really enjoying the world building in this and the kind of optimism in this, because in this future, humans had to leave Earth. Like, it was a doomed planet, but there were two different sort of sets of people. There were the people who had the money and power and they went to Mars. They started a colony on Mars, and then there were the Exodans, as it's called, who were basically the people who were left remaining on Earth, and they left in a massive spaceship, and then they were saved by another species. I don't remember which species saved them. So yeah, very interesting dynamics between different species. One of my favorite parts is that humans are seen as a very inferior species. Like, when you compare them to the other species that kind of all live harmoniously, humans are like very low on the ladder. Like, we're not useless, but we're just like we're not considered very smart or diplomatic or anything like that, which is very refreshing. Like, humans need that kind of humbling. So anyways, highly recommend, really enjoying this. I don't think I'm explaining it very well, but I'm loving it and I'm kind of savoring it, which I haven't done for a book in a while. So highly recommend. Becky Chambers. Oh, and it's the first one of 3, I think. All right, this video has been way too rambly, but I very much hope you enjoyed. If you have any New Year's plans tonight, I hope you have a wonderful time. I dressed up for you. I don't think I'm gonna wear this shirt to my New Year's party, but we'll see. I'm excited for the new year. I hope 2022 was a good year for you, and I hope that 2023 is even better. Let me know if you're making any goals, or if you are planning to go on a no buy or low buy next year, or have a bunch of products that you want to pan. Okay, bye.